Hello, my name is Olga Prykhodko. I've been dancing and singing salsa for many years. While I was traveling a lot, participating in numerous dance and music events around the world, I met stars in the world salsa community, whom I would like to introduce in my new project called Social Talks. I will be interviewing famous people and representatives of Latin American culture, and they will share their experience. They will tell about their ups and downs, and of course, they will inspire you. Subscribe to our channel Universo Latino on YouTube and other social networks and find a lot of interesting and useful information. Get closer to the stars who inspire you. Salsa unites people. Good afternoon, dear friends. My name is Olga Prykhodko and this is Social Talks on Universo Latino channel. I'm glad to see and to hear from everybody today. And today, this special day, International Dance Day, we have a special guest, Benlahsen, international instructor, dancer, choreographer, very energetic and all-time smiling person with positive energy. And when you see Talal, you always want to be around this person. Hi Talal, how are you?
Hello Olga, how are you?
I'm fine. We have a very good weather today. It's sunny and very warm. How the weather is in Brussels?
Very lucky today. It's kind of great, but it's fine. With the confinement, we're fine.
Okay. So Talal, by the way, happy International Day. Happy Dance Day.
Dance Day to you too, and to everyone who is watching.
Yes. Talal, we meet here, we are talking in social talks with people who make huge contribution to Latin American culture, and I know that you are dancing for so many years. I even don't know actually how many years, you will tell us, but I've been meeting you a lot of times at many international events, so I'm sure people will be interested, including me, to know you better.
This month, I think we can count 20 years of dancing since the first time I stepped into a salsa bar.
20 years, congratulations.
That's more than my half life.
So how everything started? You were born in Morocco, right? But now you live in Brussels, in Belgium. Belgium. So how you moved to Brussels? Can you tell us shortly?
It's quite a whole adventure. I moved to Brussels for studies. So the main reason to move to Brussels was to study. And during all that process, not to go into a lot of details, discovering salsa was quite a coincidence. I think I'm a pure example of someone who have no background in dancing, no Latin American culture, never even heard about salsa before, and meeting or discovering salsa was quite a big coincidence, just because one day I decided to step into that Latino bar in Brussels.
Okay, by the name of which, by the way, do you remember the name of this bar?
The name of yes, of course. The place is called Monte Cristo, and back in the days it was like one of the amazing places you could dance salsa ever in Belgium. We even had people like traveling from Holland, from France, from Germany just to go to the Monte Cristo. It was an amazing place. Now this place doesn't exist anymore, or it exists but they renew it, but it's not the same thing anymore. Yet when I pass by, I still like feel some kind of like nostalgia. I would say I still remember my days there.
But okay, so it was like a coincidence that you just were at some salsa party and you...
No, actually, my life as a student was limited between 3 points: home, university, and my student job. So those are the 3 things. And imagine for someone who came from Morocco to Belgium, to Europe, to a new country, new place, I still didn't have time to get used to the lifestyle. So I was simply busy doing these 3 things. And one day I was in my after my student job, I was working at the restaurant, by the way. I decided to, while I was going home, I was saying like, why I'm going all the time home after work? I will just go to the city center. It was a Friday night, or a walk. I like the city center of Brussels, by the way. So I took the subway and I stepped out in the city center. And while I was walking on one of the small streets, it was simply a coincidence that passing by that bar, the doorman or the security opened the door of the club to let someone in or out. Mm-hmm. And I heard the music. Okay, so I came close to that place because it was like a glass door, because I was curious. I wanted to see what is happening there. I had no intention to go in, absolutely no intention. And then you see this big guy, at the entrance, like opening the door, coming out, giving me that look, this really like that such a bad look, for someone, up and down. You see like a young guy, student coming from his job. My pants were still dirty from work, and he looked at me, he saw me like this. You're not allowed. So I told him, listen, I wasn't planning to go in. I just like wanted to see how things are going. It's like he felt pity of me or something. He told me, listen, I'm gonna let you in today, but tomorrow you come back with decent clothes. I was like, okay. So I went in and I saw like a whole new world for me. Like, everything was just like different, beautiful. The music, the people, how they were dressed, with their drink, and then there was like a circle, when people are watching someone dancing, and there was a couple dancing. The two people that were dancing there was a Cuban guy dancing bare feet, and the French girl. I still know both of them, by the way, and they were dancing in the middle, and it was such an amazing, beautiful Cuban dance, and I was like, wow. So I was watching them, and I went, took a Coke. That was the only Coke I could buy that night. And I was, and the only thing I was doing that night is just like standing and watching people dancing. So that's how things started. The day after, I did my service, went back to home. The first thing, took a shower, put my best clothes back in the time. You don't want to imagine. And I went back to the Monte Cristo. And since that day, I was going to the Monte Cristo 5 or 6 days a week. That's how things started, briefly.
So these people were just your inspiration, like to be involved into the Latin American culture and dances, and then you decided to open your own studio.
No, in the beginning there was no interest into dancing or anything else. In the beginning, it was mostly social. Imagine like you're coming for the first time to a new country, you have no friends, you don't know people, and suddenly you discover this whole new world where people they simply meet each other, socialize, dance together. It took me a while to have my first contact with people, so mostly it was just like a social place where I could go and enjoy being there. It was also a place where you could easily be accepted. For example, when you go to normal clubs, if you don't go with friends, you stay alone the whole night, especially when you don't have, you're still young, you have no confidence, you don't trust yourself, you don't know how to talk with people, so you're hardly accepted. I think it's much easier in salsa places to get easily, connected to people, and that's how things started with me. So all what comes after, about like thinking about dancing or learning how to dance or go further, yeah, I never planned it, so things just happened by themselves.
I remember I also started dancing salsa, but been working in the regular job. It was office job, and after my job I was like going socializing with people. It was fun time, resting after the hard working day. So mostly it was like for fun at first. And I know that you have your own company, your own brand, your own school called Salsa Sunrise. Can you tell about your school in Belgium? Does it still exist, because you're traveling a lot?
It always existed. I think it started in 2004, I would say, officially, and it still exists. We never had, like, let's say, an official structure, so we're all the time like renting places. So you know how it goes. Having a structure is kind of big expenses, right? So you use the room, or you don't use it, you have to pay for it. So we always chose for renting places, and so we've been different studios during this last 15, 16 years. And now we have a beautiful venue called Argon. People, they love it because it just like has a style and has an atmosphere. And I think it's our new place, and we're planning to keep it like for quite a long time.
Do you teach there with some local partner or by yourself?
I do have, let's say, I don't have a specific partner, but I have, let's say, I have my student, but I have, let's say, my favorite ones, my chosen ones. And with those, I somehow, they assist me. We do the class together, and it's quite a lot of fun. They're good.
Just interesting, for example, how to gather people, attract people in Belgium to Latin dances, to salsa classes. How you do that, especially back days when you started? It was kind of advertisements in the media. How that works in Belgium, because here we have also a lot of schools, and now we have more means with the social media, of course. But back days, I remember our teachers were printing some posters and even.
Yeah, I remember those. Well, it was never that easy. The thing is, like back in the days, if we talk about the city as Brussels had its main big teachers. And coming as a young new face and trying to give classes in Brussels, it's just like not doable at all. It's just like not easy, because like the first thing you would hear, like who is this new person coming from nowhere, and also because let's say I don't think Belgium is an easy country to gather people for salsa, especially back in the days. Now maybe it's easier, but back in the days it was kind of hard. So I had to build a name, and the only way to do it was outside Brussels. So I was giving classes in all kind of small cities, villages around Brussels for a couple of years, until, let's say, I could strengthen my name and have a certain reputation that when I came to Brussels, I brought my people with me. So I'm no longer alone. I brought my army with me. So that's how we started, let's say, in 2006-07 to have class in Brussels. Of course, it was like up and down because of the lack of experience. Because, you know, it takes time to know how to deal with these kind of things. It doesn't count only on how good you are or how about your reputation. It's you need a lot of skills about how to sell yourself. And those things I never learned them before, so I had to learn them in the spot and through years and failures. And we're quite happy with the results right now after 20 years. But yeah, it never was that easy, and we had to do it day by day. Now, talking about your posters, I still remember myself back in the days because there is no budget. You know, how do you want to promote yourself? There is no Instagram, there is no Facebook, there is no YouTube. So I was printing like miserable papers like this, and I had to cut them in 4, right? And I had to distribute them in different places. But you know how you put them in shops, in parkings, people, they don't pay attention to this kind of like cheap pieces of paper. If the flyer is not like colorful and attractive, nobody will look at it.
Yes,
so I would, for example, distribute like, let's say, 3,000 flyer, and I would get maybe 2 people in my classes, for example. That's it.
If this kind of a practice, I don't know how it is legally in Brussels or not. Open airs.
Or what?
I mean, social dancing, also to attract new people.
There are some people who do this. In Brussels, we have quite a lot of nice places, and some people are really, like, let's say, using them, like nearby some squares or museums or parks. I think there's a lot of activities like this. Well, unfortunately, I don't have time to visit them because of all the traveling, but I know that when I see like somehow all the videos and the photos, there are quite a lot of cool things happening here in Brussels.
Just interesting. The regular students that attend your classes in Brussels, who are these people? I mean, this is like regular people working in some offices, it's young students, or it's more adult people. Just interested in the general audience. I mean,
well, nowadays,
interested
you can. I think all type of people. When people are hooked, they are hooked. Okay. So you have all type of people, all from youngsters to people, and all type of social people, and all kind of like people from the European Commission, like regular workers, teachers, doctors. So I mean, I think when you're hooked, you're hooked. So we don't have specific right now. We don't have specifically like a certain category of people, but like I have everyone.
And do you still can go and dance socially? I mean, for example, on Sundays or on Saturdays, regular people. For example, some people from Ukraine or other countries will be in Brussels on weekends.
Yes,
they want to go. Yes. Can you say some names from some clubs or some restaurants?
Names of clubs, like I cannot tell that much, because we had, for example, this famous place called La Tentación on Sunday. Now somehow they changed the location. They went somewhere else, and they have this parties on Sunday called Domingo Latino. I also organized my socials like on Wednesday, and I was planning on Thursdays as well before the Corona crisis, but like now we have to wait and postpone. And also we do some kind of like, let's say, matinees on Sundays. Now I know there is a lot of other stuff everywhere else, but you know when you are into your business, so somehow you focus on your own stuff. And as I said, like for me, the most famous regular parties, they are like the Domingo Latino. But we have also like some regular events organized by Quiero Bailar. They do it like regularly every month. Once in a while, they have also a congress. So there is a lot of things happening here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And now let's move to your international side of your life.
Давай.
So how often in a month do you travel? All the weekends, or maybe twice a month, or 3 times, or all the weekends you travel?
There was a year, I think 1 year or 2 years ago, I did some kind of like a calculation. I was counting how many flights I got during 1 year, okay? But the thing is, it's not gonna be objective, because like businesses are mixed with each other. So you have like the salsa, you have the trips, you have other things. But so I counted around 114 flights in 1 year. So that means every single weekend I was traveling. Most of them were for dancing. So let's say objective, I would say we have 52 weeks a year. I think nearly 30 weeks are for salsa events.
And I also participated in some events. We met. We met first time. It was Antalya, I think.
I met in many events. Don't even remember. Like I think.
Yeah. I also don't remember the first time I met you, but probably it was Antalya. Yes.
Yeah. And I still remember some good names from there, like Katia Gutnichenko. I still remember Marta Khana. I still remember Yulia Fedorova also was there. It was like Natalia Karnauk also was there.
Yes, we've been there. And
Oleg Sokolov.
Oleg.
So, yeah.
We will move to your Ukrainian friends a little bit later.
That was a good touch the first time with Ukrainian people. It was Antalya actually.
And firstly, I remember you were teaching for some time alone, without a permanent partner. I remember your solo shows. How long that happened, and then I remember you've been also cooperating with different partners. I remember the girl from Romania, Kate.
Okay, Kate.
I don't know if she's still dancing, because
no. She stopped a long time ago.
But I remember that show, and for some time you were doing some solo shows and teaching them. And then you found the right partner for you.
Yeah.
So now tell us about your current cooperation with Edita.
We can actually divide my dancing, let's say, life with the cooperation. Actually, we can mark like the coming of Edita as like a crucial moment, and we can just count like my dancing life before Edita and my dancing life after Edita. I think I never had a specific partner, that's for sure, and because I was still looking for one. Although I had like really good cooperation with different ones, and I must thank them for that. Also, I had to dance alone. By the way, I never liked dancing alone, because for me, being on the stage alone, like you feel like so naked, it's just like awful feeling. But anyways, I never liked it. And the only thing I told myself is to never stop. because if you stop, you lose a lot. People, they forget about you. You lose actually you lose also the habits of going on stage and being in that atmosphere. And I had to stay there. I mean, the name had to be in the salsa scene, no matter if I had the right partner or not. And then came this moment where I also like talked with the Edita, and it was like also pure coincidence. And it was like I was desperately looking for a partner, and we were like chatting on Facebook, and it came after like a random video I saw of her on YouTube, and then I just wrote her like, hey, let's do something. And she was like kind of like, you know, why me now, and all this kind of question that you can ask yourself. And then I flew to Warsaw, and then we started, and that's how things started like 6 years, yeah, by December 2013. So if we can divide my dancing life into two parts, it's the part from December 2013 until now with Edita, and before without. That's how it is. Now, by meeting with Edita, of course, my dancing career actually took like different proportions, like bigger proportions. So of course it gives us like a lot more visibility, work, popularity, and it seems it means that you simply dancing with the right person, and you're cooperating with the right person, not only dancing, cooperating with the right person.
But you and Edita live in different countries. Right?
I can
lives
almost
in Milan,
imagine
right?
the next question. Yeah,
Yes. She lives in Milan right now. Milan.
She lives in Milan. Yeah.
Yeah. She's from Poland, but she is now currently living in Milan. And your like place of residence is Brussels. So how do you train? How do you make these beautiful shows?
It's a matter of investing time and money and efforts, which means there was a lot of flights, especially in the very beginning, because we were still building this kind of, let's say, fusion and harmony with Edita, because we never danced before. So in the beginning, it was a lot of flights to Warsaw and to Brussels to be able to meet and to practice. And I think the more we dance together, the more we get used to each other, and things becomes easier, I would say. Now, of course, I would tell you something. We wish we could meet even more often to produce even more beautiful things, but we do how we can, because she has also her career, her job, her occupation. She's also having her own. Let's say you have Talal and Edita, but you have also Edita alone, and you have also Talal alone. Yes, she has also like a completely different also fields where she's working. So we try somehow to combine our time. We of course we give the priority to work into each other whenever we have this opportunity. So we value our work, and we invest time and energy and money to be able to make things happen. So it's simply a matter of passion.
I'm asking because now Ukraine, we do not need Schengen visa, and we have a lot of great dancers with a huge potential, and they travel a lot, and probably they are very interested to cooperate with some international dancers or with some dancers from other countries. So it's just interesting to hear from the experienced professional dancer how it's to make it possible. I mean, so
I'll tell you something. You mentioned something about like potential in good dancers and everything, and I agree. Honestly, in Eastern Europe, I've seen a lot of amazing dancers, men and women, with such a level like this. And even when I watch them, I'm like, wow, this is like amazing. The thing is, like, it doesn't. It needs a lot more than that. So even if you would find a partner, okay, so it's good, you have a partner now, and now what? You have like millions of partners and millions of couples waiting to just like to find a spot in the salsa world. So it's not only a matter of talent, it's a lot of other skills, like a lot of hard work in terms of like a communication, languages, public relation, knowing who, being there in the right moment, where the right person, being introduced, and a lot of other stuff that you need to deal with. So there is no specific rule. You just need to be there and to do it, until
desire, desire,
and until you find your way. There is no recipe, I would say. You just need to put all the chances on your side, and keep working until you find your spot. That's all.
Thank you very much. And by the way, guys, those who are watching right now our live talk, you may see some pictures, some videos from the shows, from the social dancing, from the workshop of Talal and Edita solo shows. And please stay till the end. We will tell you who will be our next guest. So, how many languages do you speak?
Whoa! I think I can manage in more or less 6 languages. Not all
10.
good.
I think 10.
No, 6. Not all of them are good, but like with different, of course, levels. So I can, and that helps a lot.
Can you tell us, enumerate which are?
Well, I'm native from Morocco, so I speak Arabic, and also with different dialect. That means, let's say, because Arab countries have different dialects, so we can understand them myself. French, because that's the first foreign language I learned when I was at school in Morocco. English came after. A little bit of Dutch because I live in Belgium, and a little bit of Spanish because of salsa and because it's kind of similar to French, and some Russian. I mean, a little bit of Russian, just like a little bit like choo 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 choo, just like choo choo.
Well, I know that you speak Russian.
And I manage. I can survive with the few sentences in Russian that I know.
And I know that we need to be very careful when Talal is around.
Russian I have is like to be able to go and buy groceries, go to the station, find the hospital, whatever, stuff like this.
How many countries did you visit already? I mean, in terms of your international dance career.
I cannot tell because I'm a traveling addict. And if I don't travel for dancing. When I travel for dancing, I always spare time to discover the country where I am. Yet I did a lot of traveling on my own. So in total, we can count 69 countries, which is like quite a decent number, I would say.
And can you mention some exotic country that you've been and you were impressed?
I think the more you travel, the more you lose these things because you simply see that every country has something beautiful to offer. So what is exotic? Because I come from Morocco and it's considered to be exotic for people from Europe. And
me,
I can,
yes, I've never been to Morocco. Yes.
I can go, for example, I don't know, to Kazakhstan, and it's exotic to me, or to whatever, to Mongolia or to China. So yeah, everything. I mean. I like them all. There's always something beautiful to see in a country, so there is no preference, not to offend anyone.
Yes, of course. I mean,
no, but I mean it.
You were at some African, countries that nobody can go just like. Well, average traveling.
The last one was South Africa, and I was planning to extend my traveling there and to stay for longer and to go to Namibia afterwards. But with all the lockdowns everywhere in the world because of the coronavirus, so I had to cancel my traveling and come back. But that was one of my dream trips to go to the desert of Namibia, but it didn't happen.
So you also. Besides going to international events, you organize events. I'm not telling right now about the parties, like you said, on Wednesday or Sunday. I mean, you organize international event. It's weekend or festival, Salsa Sunrise called. I've also participated twice, I think. Not this year, but yes, probably 7 years or maybe even longer. Long time ago. And why you decided to do that? Because you were traveling, you watched around and decided to make something in Brussels? Nobody made it before you?
We used to organize events from 2004 until 2011. And for 7 years, we had quite a big event called Salsa Sunrise, and it was quite famous, okay? And then I stopped because, not because it wasn't going well, because first of all, after doing things, year after year, you get somehow fed up and tired of them. Okay, it served us a loss because it gives us a name and the reputation and everything. But then after that, I discovered this passion for traveling. So I had somehow to leave the events on the side and to start doing this traveling business. Now that things actually are more or less settled with the traveling business after some years, and now that I have this place in Brussels, which is fixed, so I got the idea of reorganizing the same event as before, Salsa Sunrise, like with a new look, but also add some new concept, like the one we did in February with the Adolfo called Meet Your Legend, and that's a different concept than the Salsa Sunrise.
So you managed to make this event in February before the quarantine started.
Yeah.
So tell us something about this event.
Well, the nature of the event actually was meant to be, to give actually some respect to the people that somehow contributed in a larger scale in the salsa world. Okay, so the point is to bring once a year one very famous figure, and we started with Adolfo. Thanks to him, we could start this event, and it was something special, which means not for a lot of people, for a limited number of people, and they could really be close to that legend during 3 days. It's more intimate, like during the workshops, the show. Basically, actually, Adolfo was during the show. He was performing with people sitting next to him, not on a big stage, but really something more intimate. So there was like an interview. There was shows, classes, social dancing. I think we've seen Adolfo a lot on the dance floor, and that's the whole idea about this. It's to make people closer to the legend they love.
And we can be proud our Ukrainian girls were also participating and performing on the main stage.
Yes.
I know Maria is watching us.
Unique.
So my best regards to the girls from Odessa and Kyiv. It was like a mixed team, I remember.
Yeah.
So they were participating on the main stage.
Yes. And they did quite a great job, and people, they appreciate them a lot, not only during the show but also for social dancing. So you have an event like this, and you have now we're talking about exotism. You have 7-8 girls coming from Ukraine, so that changed a little bit the level of the dance floor. You know what I mean?
yes, of course. And is it mostly event on the local level, or a lot of people from different countries?
Well, people can come from abroad. We have people coming from abroad, especially people who participated for the classes or for the Tanya bootcamp. So we have people coming from different countries. Mainly the surrounding one, but we have people also from Norway, from Poland, from Ukraine, and so it was quite international. So not a lot of people, but it's international. But that's the whole idea about it. Not crowded event, just small, and to allow people to be closer to the artist.
But do you plan to make it when the quarantine is over? Do you plan to make it again on a regular basis, once a year or twice a year?
Yes, normally it's supposed to be next February again, but now we're not sure about anything anymore, so we're simply waiting before taking any decision.
But you also supposed to make some event in May.
Yes, and this one was postponed.
Till next year?
Till next year.
Because I saw the information that you're supposed to make this. But it's like a second edition. It's the same format that you're supposed to have in February. It's the same. So twice a year, February and May.
Well, Salsa Sunrise is like a regular event with many artists, many workshops. It's quite various. Meet Your Legend is only one figure, one very famous salsa figure. So that's the whole thing. That's the difference.
So it was like a separate format concept. Mm-hmm.
We also have other ideas about doing other type of events, still in the same venue, the Argonne. That gives us a lot of possibilities. But the only thing we need to is just to pass through these hard times, and then things will get back to normal, and then we can again do things for people here.
When you organize your events, is it only for salsa dancers, or it's also bachata, kizomba, or it's like?
Yeah, we had this. I had two jokes about it, because I'm into salsa, because that's how I discovered this dancing word was salsa. When I think about it, how it used to be back in the days, it was one big salsa room, and that's it. And once in a while they will play maybe one chata or one merengue or one bachata.
Bachata is between three salsa.
No. Three salsa, no. forget. No, it takes long because before having the bachata, and somehow we saw this evolution into events where like bachata start like taking a bigger part of the market, then kizomba and everything. So when I wanted to do our event, I wanted to go back to how it used to be before. So 100% salsa, right? So when I briefed my DJs, it's like, guys, it is 100% salsa, nothing else. Maybe cha-cha here and there, but nothing else. And then I had this guy calling me, Talal, why don't you play some bachata, or you open a bachata room, you will have at least maybe like 100 people more. And I say, I understand you, but it's not about the profit, it's about the concepts. We want somehow an event focused on salsa. And I told them, like, it's called Salsa Sunrise, not Bachata Sunrise, and not Kizomba Sunrise, you know what I mean?
Yes,
so otherwise, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when you start the process of organizing event, how you decide which instructor, which DJ, how many workshops, the plan, do you have some strategy? You have a team who helps you? I mean, how the process is?
I have people who help me. I have people who help me like during the event, and of course a little bit before and during the event, and I'm very thankful to them. I cannot mention all the names because there are many, but the idea of choosing artists, we have the chance to travel with Edita I also had a chance to travel before, and I have like connection with a lot of artists. They are also friends. I have also a connection with the dancers, DJs, other organizers. So it's at the end, it's a matter of feeling. Okay, how you connect good with the artist. If you know that he's gonna, beside being a good name or a big name, if he's gonna provide in your event what you're expecting, good quality shows, workshops, but mainly the social part with the people, because that's actually what we're trying to focus on.
And you say it's like a salsa event, but it's mostly for crossbody salsa styles, right?
Mainly, yes. We also love Cuban salsa because there is no restriction about Cuban salsa. Sometimes, like during the party, of course, you have a whole set of Cuban salsa, and like we really enjoy it. But there is no restriction about that. It's not, of course, the main style is the crossbody one. But Cuban salsa is very welcome. We love it.
How young teams, people who just started their dancing career from different countries, from Ukraine, for example, can get to the main stage of Salsa Sunrise, or can, for example, be in the list of instructors of what they should do.
Easy. You just write me that song. Just say it. It's so easy now to connect with organizers like never before.
So you mean they shall send you the video, tell about themselves?
I'm available. I read messages and I answer. I watch videos, and I'm here. I'm also here to support. DJs is very delicate because DJs. The thing is, like, you can accept as many dancers as you can, but with DJs, no, it's very delicate because they have their own sets. And you cannot put in the night 5 or 6 DJs, for example. It's just like impossible. So they cannot somehow feel the crowd and entertain them the way they're supposed to. So DJs is very delicate, actually. As you might know, the DJ make the party because you can have, for example, a bad show. You can have, for example, let's say an empty class or workshop, but if you have a bad DJ and then you have people during the party looking at each other and looking at you, then somehow it's a failure. So about DJs, it's very, very delicate.
I see. So people from Ukraine and from other countries, if you want to perform Salsa Sunrise event, you have an opportunity to contact Talal in Facebook and other social medias. Yes, I understand.
They will love it. It's very small, cozy, but also it's Brussels is quite central. It's the right place to meet people, to be visible, to meet other organizers, and that's something that every single artist should pass through.
Okay, thank you very much. Talal, thank you very much for this interesting talk. This is social talks. We are talking about different things, about dancing, about music, about festivals, and I would like to notice one more time that this video will be posted on this Universo Latino channel, so everybody who are not able to join us right now, they will be able to watch it later, and afterwards this video with Russian subtitles will be downloaded in our channel Universo Latino in YouTube, so people who speak only Russian, they maybe don't speak foreign languages, will be able to watch it with Russian subtitles. Talal, you're traveling a lot, but you also organize salsa trips. It's called Salsa Sunrise trips.
No, trips. Because I want the sunrise things to be in there.
So it's not about only trips to salsa festivals.
No. Okay. So we have different sections. Of course, it started with salsa trips. No. Sorry, it started with cultural trips in 2010. I decided to explore other fields because I was dancing back in the time. I was dancing for 10 years already, and also I wanted some refreshment, something new to do. Okay, I felt that I could somehow, let's say, use my abilities and other things. So I decided to start organizing trips. The idea actually is a whole other story. It might take some time, but then we started with cultural trips. I started with my own hometown, where I was born in Morocco. I did the first time, second time, third time, and it was full success. And then I said, well, I don't only know my hometown. I know other towns in Europe and somewhere else. So I decided to start organizing other trips to Hungary, to Poland, to the Baltic states, to Ukraine. Even I did. And then I said, okay, good. We have a community. I mean, it could also be not only cultural trips, but it could be cultural dancing. And we did cultural, we do dancing, and then we even started 2 years ago medical trips.
Medical trips. What does it mean?
Well, medical trips. We started first with people men who likes to do hair transplants, and then from hair transplants, we were adding this year also all what has to do with the dental care. So all this kind of like aesthetic treatments. So it's the new product that we're doing for the last 2 years, and it's working quite well.
And how many people in the group? Usually, average number of the people in your groups.
That depends on the tour. For example, if it's a cultural tour, not more than 20. Sometimes even less. 20 is the maximum. But when it has to do with the dancing trips, people, when they go to the dancing festival, you don't need to babysit them. You don't need to take care of them. They're free. They do their own life. But when you are with people in a cultural tour, so you're going with them like hour per hour during the whole process. Of course you give them some free time, but you have a schedule. From arriving to the airport, taking them to the hotel, tours, excursions, and all these kind of things. So that's why I need a smaller group first to be able to handle them. Second, to also give them the feeling that it's not a mass tour that you buy from any travel agency, but to give it somehow a different type, something more like personalized. You can care about people one by one. You can somehow personalize the trip during the tour to each and every person.
So when you organize Salsa Sunrise trip, you have some like packages. It's like hotel plus pass, or including tickets.
You're talking about dancing or about
dancing? I mean, like salsa. Yes.
When it has to do with
for dancing festivals.
When it has to do with dancing festivals, it's mostly the package includes the accommodation and the pass, and sometimes the transfer. The flights, it's hard to do because people are coming from different destinations. The only thing you can do is to, by experience, you can somehow suggest the ideal flights to take, cheaper one and the most convenient.
So you mentioned that you also organized a tour to Ukraine.
Yes, I did back in the days. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you did. Which city?
Yeah. Well, mostly it was actually. You remember the Siskaya in Ilyichovsk?
Yes.
Okay, so it was like combined salsa and also a cultural trip to Kiev. So we started with Ilichov, so it was like fun and everything. And from there, I took people to Kiev, and we stayed like for 3 days. So I was showing them like around in different places, and yeah, people, they were like enchanted.
How many times have you been to Ukraine? Do you remember?
I can't even remember.
But
I think they're
approximately
lost.
2, 3, 4.
No. I will give you the example of like for example, when there is no crisis, like Corona and everything, I go at least twice a year to Odessa, for example. I love Odessa, and I would tell you once because one time in the summer because of any salsa event, and one time in the winter because it's empty and I enjoy being in front of the Black Sea during that time. It's my like relaxing moments of the year.
So which cities did you visit? I mean, Odessa, Kiev.
And I had a dream to. No, Ilichov, I don't even consider it as a city.
Yeah, but it's like small town.
But Lvov was impressive. I loved it. Lvov, Lviv, I don't know how you want me to pronounce it, but I love being there.
Lviv.
Amazing.
Lviv is like Ukrainian.
I had a great time there.
And what do you say in some words? What was your impression about Ukraine, about Ukrainian salsa environment, festivals? You are all the time smiling positive, but interesting to hear some key points that maybe you could emphasize for the organizer to make something, to change maybe something from the point of view of your experience traveling abroad a lot.
The issue, if I can, about the, let's talk about the positive points first, okay?
Yes.
So Ukraine for me is a country not to miss. I mean, culturally speaking, there is something to discover. Holidays, there is a lot of things to do. The dancing level keeps growing, and it's really great. Okay, so we have nothing to say about this. The issue about Ukraine now is that like it's not an easy place to reach regarding the flight tickets prices. Not everybody it's not easy for everyone to pay, let's say 300 or 400 euros sometimes in summertime to be able to reach Ukraine. So that somehow limits the number of people that can visit Ukraine. So you really need to want to go to Ukraine to pay that price. Second, I think that organizing a salsa events requires
in the end of the talk, we will, of course, pass them to Talal, and Talal answer the questions from the audience. So please don't be so shy. Type your questions. And this is Social Talks. We continue. Talal, you have so many projects, so many interesting things to do. And there is one topic I think we need to discuss separately, because this is very important mission. Like, you're also involved into the charity activity. You help children of your own country.
Yeah.
So it's like a fund called Children of Forgotten Morocco.
Yeah.
Forgotten Children of Morocco.
No, Children of Forgotten Morocco.
Yeah.
Also, it could be also Children of Morocco. Yeah. So Children of Forgotten Morocco. Yes.
Please tell us about this idea. What did you do? Did you manage to
I'm going to show you something prepared for our audience here. Take a look at this. This, I don't know if you can see it properly. This is me taking a selfie with a little girl here, okay? Can you see it? And this actually little girl was the inspiration of this Children of Forgotten Morocco. Because I was touring with the people in my own country, in that region of the deserts of Morocco, okay? And by starting doing this kind of trip, actually, I realized, I thought that when I was younger, we were living in poverty. Because, I'm from, let's say, I don't even say middle class. I'm from a poor class in Morocco. And I thought we were living in poverty until I met these people through my trips in Morocco. And then you really realize that there are people even below that level of poverty. And we decided in the very beginning to do some small helps. That means when we were traveling with my people there, with my clients or with my travelers there, I would ask them to bring maybe some pieces of clothes in the beginning, just like to help, okay? And of course, the people were happy with the clothes, but that's not gonna change their lives. Clothes, you can wear them and then that's it. And then we started to give some financial support, but the money can, you can give the money, but the money is wasted afterwards, and then there's nothing to do. And then this idea came of building houses, and the idea was because of I saw children working and laboring, and I saw the situation of their hands, how they were dry and dirty and everything. I said, for me, a child who has a shelter, a house, has more chances not to quit school. And if he doesn't quit school, he might have a better future. And if he has a better future, he can work and do more things with his life. Okay, that's the main idea. Now, he may not succeed. He may not have that job, or he may not, for example, get to any kind of higher position. Yet he still have that shelter. Because for me, honestly, now in this pandemic, people, they are like locked in their home and they're complaining. They say, okay, we're at home and everything. We're bored. And then you only think about those who don't even have a home where to be confined. They're simply confined outside. So for me, sheltering children is like my baby project. And we started some years ago now. I think we're already building the 4th house. And honestly, I can only be grateful to our donors. We have people from all over the world giving their support and their donation, and it only keeps us going. That means I know that we still have money for another 5th house, and I think we can go for even more. And the more the project grows, the more things we can do. Maybe a school, maybe a library, maybe all these kind of things. So yeah. So it's.
This is very, very important mission, and I wish you good luck, because it's very, very, I'm sure it's not easy to do. But you are on the right way, and I do hope you will be able to help as many children
thank you.
as possible. And I also need to mention that you have so many different projects. They are so different by their content, dancing, helping children. You also import argan oil. It's like cosmetics. So
you've been investigating today, Olga, right?
Yes, I am investigating all the time.
Okay. So I think when you have this entrepreneur inside. I think you simply see projects everywhere. This also something that was this interest into the oil was born through one of my trips, because I saw women when they were with me in the tour. They simply stop in the argan shop and they would buy like a lot of stuff there, and they said, that's an idea. So I said, instead of taking people to Morocco to get the oil, I'll bring the oil to them, and that's it. So it's also a whole process of importing, packaging, ticketing, shipping and all those kind of things. But we're also happy with this. And during this confinement, we have even more time to take care of that field, I would say.
So do you have some dream that you already fulfilled, or you still dreaming about? I mean, did you think maybe about something that you really want to achieve in your life, even maybe beside dancing?
I will tell you something. I'm living my own dream right now. My dream, I'm living it right now. Because if we go back 20 years ago, when I just landed in Belgium and I prepared something for you, look, this is my passport. My first, I don't know the quality, but you can see it here.
Yeah, the quality is okay.
This is actually my first passport, which I came to Belgium, and I keep it as a reminder. Okay, and look, it's a green passport with golden characters, and you can see it. Different. I never thought one day I would go into dancing, right? And when I started dancing, I never thought it would go beyond Brussels, Belgium, Europe. And while I was dancing and getting this say far in this field, I never thought about tourism. I never studied tourism. And while I was doing tourism, I never thought about oils. And while I was doing tourism, I never thought about charity. So I think I'm just going with the flow. And whenever I see that there are things to be done, so I do them. So there is no such a thing as like a dream to achieve. But my whole life was built on smaller achievements, one by one. Gives you this kind of like this joy, this happiness that keeps you going, and that makes you also able to go to the next dream easier. I mean, sometimes when your dream is big, it's kind of hard to achieve big. Okay? So you better divide it into smaller dreams, and that's what happened with me. So I was satisfied and happy with each and every little step I was going through. And as I said, today I'm living my dream. There is no further. Maybe if there is something that can happen, I'm gonna discover in the future. But my dream is now.
So, guys, you may see that we have such a guest who can handle so many things, who all the time in a great high spirits, no matter quarantine or the rain or the snow. Talal is always smiling. I know you all the time smiling with a positive energy, and
because of you.
we need to meet more often.
Yeah.
So I would like now to tell you, we have some questions from the audience.
Really? Tell me how many first.
The first question is from Maria Basuk. Maybe you know this girl.
Basuk.
So
this Mama is here. Look at this.
Yeah, Adessa is in the house. So tell me, how do you manage to find the music for your shows, as each time it is special, and you cannot hear this music everywhere? So where do you get inspiration and ideas for these shows, and when do you find the music?
The music or the idea for the show?
No, she put in the question, first music, how you find it, and how you get idea and inspiration for the shows.
The music, it's just by also by coincidence. I cannot tell. It also has to be something different from what you hear from any classical salsa song, so that it can already attract the attention of the public once you play, and then people, they get interested in the rest of the show. So when the music is different, you already gained somehow the attention of the people. Now about the preparation of the show and regarding how we do with Edita, that's something different, because we meet and here we are. Sometimes we're inspired, sometimes we're not. Sometimes it takes, let's say, 2-3 days to get one move. Sometimes it takes 1 hour to get a whole set of moves. So it depends. And also I'm grateful that I'm working also with Edita because, as I always say, like 2 brains is better than 1. So when we're together, we're working on the projects together, and we're, let's say, brainstorming. She brings ideas, I bring ideas, and somehow we see, okay, we use it, we use it, we don't use it. Sometimes we do it and then we change it. So it's a whole process until we get to the result. And even when we're done with the result, we have like the whole idea of the show and we're done with it and everything. We look at it again, and through the performances, we still manage to change some stuff because, okay, this is not strong enough, this has to be changed, this is not on the music. So there is no final show. We can actually do some kind of show and we can still like update it like after each performance. That's it.
Okay, thank you very much. And another question from Daria Ustimenko from Kiev.
Dasha!
So, can you mention some details that were made by the organizers that impressed organizers of the events, and you as invited instructor appreciated the most? Maybe there were some details in the organization, or
details that from the organization that I appreciate.
Yes, that you appreciated the most. Maybe you remember some interesting, some events. Some
events. We cannot mention names, but we like. We like when the event is for example, when we have a small briefing before. Okay. And I say small because sometimes we get lost in a lot of information, okay? Small briefing. Then it has to do also with the way they receive you at the airport. It's not that like you want to be received as a king, but at least someone who can get you from the airport to the spot. Or at least if there is no one, they give us somehow the instruction how to get there. We have no problem taking the subway or the train to get to one place. Now with all the application, you can get anywhere in no time. We also appreciate when somehow the organizer wants to make you feel good because you know that he knows that his event depends on you. Because if you're feeling good and you're feeling like positive, you can only spread positiveness, and you want to give even more. We want to give the best of you during the events. So it's many things. It's actually it's the way you're briefed, the way you're received, the way you're treated. And I said we're not trying to be difficult, like, oh, we want to be treated like I don't know what, like superstars, because we're far away from being superstars. For me, superstars are like, singers and actors and football players and all these guys there, But at our level, we also give something from ourselves to the crowd. Therefore, you need to charge us with some positiveness, and you know how it goes. Positive, so you give positiveness. That's all.
Yes, thank you very much. And another question, as I mentioned, not only people from Ukraine are watching us right now. We have
Tell me where.
So the question is from Ekaterina Maria. Do you consider to invite some Romanian salsa artists into your events? And what do you enjoy the most in social dancing?
Romania is also an amazing place to dance salsa, and the level keeps growing. And for me, it's a country where there is what I call it myself, beautiful competition. That means you have a lot of schools, a lot of young people, and when it's not they compete with each other, but they compete to be better, and that's how the level is growing so well, and also it's very young, so it's so good. Inviting Romanian, yes, we already did back in the days. And I think we're not close to that. So everybody is welcome: Romanian, Ukrainian, French, Spanish, whatever. So yeah. And what was the part of the question afterwards? It was
what you enjoy the most in the social dancing.
Connection.
What do you enjoy the most in the social dance?
Connection. I mean, of course, you need a good DJ. That's for sure. You need a good DJ. And of course, you need a partner with who you can connect well on the dance floor. Just something else. Social dancing is not a show, is not a performance, is not a competition. So when you are with a dancer, with the lady on the dance floor, you simply want to connect and enjoy those 3-4 minutes together, and that's it.
Okay, so. What can maybe you can give some formula of successful social dancing for the dancer, especially for beginners. Maybe they are shy to dance, especially people who are just making their first steps they come to salsa parties, they see some beautiful ladies dancing, some great guys already advanced dancers. They are shy. What can you recommend how to get over?
You got many recipes, and I can just mention one of them. First, you need to fight this fear. Okay, you come to this word to dance. Okay, to this salsa word to be able to dance, to learn, to practice what you dance. Otherwise, it makes no sense. Maybe if in the beginning you can start practicing with a friend, someone from your class, someone that will not judge you because he's at your level. Maybe nobody will judge you, but maybe you will think that somebody gonna judge you. Dance with as many people at your level in the beginning as much as you can until you gain that confidence, and then once you feel good, then you spot that artist or that dancer and just like go for it. That's all. Experience it, enjoy it.
So you've been dancing 20 years. 20 years. So you probably plan to, are you gonna celebrate in it? I mean, after quarantine somehow?
Yeah, I mean, it could be actually good to celebrate because April, actually, I started dancing in April. It could be like the perfect month to celebrate that. But yeah, unfortunately, it's not gonna happen. Celebrating maybe in summertime if the weather is good and there is no quarantine and we can gather again. Maybe I would do something.
Okay, so another question from Ekaterina Romanenko. It's our Ukrainian girl. She lives in Paris right now. She works in Paris. And dear Talal, could you tell us which festivals are you scheduled for this year? I mean, are you going to participate this year? Of course, we hope that quarantine will be over, but which are the festivals you plan to be?
Well, in terms of big festivals, we have El Sol.
November,
Yeah, we have Vienna as well. We have some events also in just opening my calendar at the same time so I can check with you as well. So this year. So we have Rovinj, but it was postponed. Cologne, I think it's also going to be postponed. We have we have also this event called Bob in September in Budapest. We have, I'm going also to Bucharest in the beginning of October. There is an event also in Albania. There's an event in Budapest also in October. There is MoFlex event in the beginning of November that we still don't know what it's gonna be. El Sol, as we said, France, Vienna. Yeah, that's it until the end of December. But now with the coronavirus, like so many events are already like cancelled or postponed to the next year. So we see how it's gonna be.
We had approximately 10 days ago the interview. Social talk with Anya Chigovskaya, and as far as I know, they are still believing that the event will take place. We hope. So I do hope to see you on the dance floor.
Yeah.
We have another question from Luis Quintero. How long do your shows last? Probably he means duration of the shows.
I mean, duration of the song, or how many in the period? That's the thing. I'm gonna answer in both ways so that can be.
Yes, please, because he didn't specify.
We make sure that we try to make sure that the show is around 3 minutes. A bit more, a bit less, but not more than that, not less than that. Otherwise, or it's too short or it's too boring. Okay. If about the length or how long we can perform one show, it all depends. We try to do, let's say, according to how we work with Ita, because we live in 2 different cities and everything. So maybe one show can last 1 year. We have this show that lasts until now, which is La Grima Negra, that we did, I think, in 2017. You know, the black show with the like a Sigala voice. We're still doing it, and people are still asking for it. I think it's this show like people like the most, and I don't know how long it's gonna last. So there is no we can deal with one show for 1 year, but if people are asking for more, I mean, if you are asking for a specific show, we can also give. You give about the duration of the song, 3 minutes more or less.
I don't see other questions. Our manager is sending me the questions, so now I need to wait. So to summarize our talk, I would like to thank you for finding time to meet with me live, to be smiling, to share your positive energy all the time. And I have the standard question It's like a social talk standard question from me. How do you manage to handle all the projects? How to find time for everything? How you manage to do that?
It doesn't come overnight. That means you when you start learning how to be organized, you start with a simple paper like this, taking notes, and then from notes to middle notes to bigger notes. So you need to be organized. So you make yourself, let's say, a certain discipline, and you follow this discipline. So give you an example. Back in the days, let's say 15 years ago, I would be looking for an event once in 3 months or 4 months, then once a month, then twice a month, then 3 months. So somehow your also your ability to handle all these things increases, and the more it takes, like you train yourself. So the more you handle, the more you can handle. So it comes with time. So there is no secret. It's simply repetition of the things, and there are some things that you do naturally without any effort.
Thank you very much. And do you have any formula of success? Talal's formula of success. Can you share some secrets of Talal's formula of success?
For me, success is based on a lot of luck. Okay?
Yes.
Yet, you have to be ready to gain your opportunity, to gain that luck. That means it's not by staying in your bed, at home, that the luck will come at your door and tell you, hey, wake up. I'm your opportunity, gain me. No, you have to wake up and you have to do everything to be able to meet that opportunity. And the more you meet your opportunity, the more you meet other opportunities, and things get better and better. So success is about waking up, being awake, working hard, and never stop. You can pass by moments of being fed up, being tired, lazy. Don't complain, pass through them, but start again. You can pass by moment by failure. We all fail, but that's how you learn. Restart again.
Talal, thank you very much. We so far do not have more questions. I would like to thank you very much for this.
Well, I would love to thank you myself, honestly, because as I said, I don't want to interrupt you. Sorry for that. But actually, I have to thank you because when you receive us in this kind of talk, you have thousands of people that you could pick from. And so I don't take it for granted. So I feel kind of honored and lucky that you could choose me. So thank you for that. It's quite fun, by the way. So can we do it tomorrow?
Yes. On our private line.
We'll do it tomorrow again.
I need to arrange our technical guy. I would like to thank Serежа. Thank you very much. We have you guys, you don't see, but we have a very, very, very professional technical producer, Sergey Ivlev, who is making everything possible for you to enjoy this talk. Thank you very much, Talal. Today it's like an International Dance Day, and you are very professional, extraordinary person. Thank you for being. It's Social Talks on Universo Latino channel. Please, guys, subscribe to our channel. We are already in Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and other social media. Please subscribe, stay tuned, and see you next week in a week with our new guest, Luis Vasquez.
Whoa! Vasquez is here.
Hello, my name is Olga Prykhodko. I've been dancing and singing salsa for many years. While I was traveling a lot, participating in numerous dance and music events around the world, I met stars in the world salsa community, whom I would like to introduce in my new project called Social Talks. I will be interviewing famous people and representatives of Latin American culture, and they will share their experience. They will tell about their ups and downs, and of course, they will inspire you. Subscribe to our channel Universo Latino on YouTube and other social networks and find a lot of interesting and useful information. Get closer to the stars who inspire you. Salsa unites people.